The TV series The Big Valley has drawn audiences into the dramatic world of the powerful Barkley family in the Wild West. But behind that glamorous facade, many of the series' talented stars have passed away. From sudden illnesses to shocking scandals, they left this world in ways we could never have imagined. In this story, we pay tribute to the deceased actors, honoring their legacy and lasting impact on the screen. Barbara Stanwyck, Chongvai Victoria Barkley. Barbara Stanwyck, whose real name was Ruby Catherine Stevens, was born on July 16, 1907 in Brooklyn, New York. She took on the iconic role of Victoria Barkley in the 1999, 165 Western television series The Big Valley at the age of 58. As the widowed head of the wealthy and powerful Barkley family in 19th-century California, Stanwyck embodied strength, conviction, and unwavering resilience. But behind her calm, authoritative exterior lay a life full of tragedy. At the age of 4, Stanwyck witnessed her mother being pushed off a streetcar by a drunk man, resulting in premature birth and death. Her father abandoned the family shortly afterward, leaving her and her brother to live in foster homes, often separated. All she knew was survival and hard work. She entered the entertainment industry at age 16 as a dancer for Ziegfeld, and quickly became a powerful icon of American cinema. With over 85 films and outstanding performances in Double Indemnity and Stella Dallas, she was dubbed the uncrowned Queen of Hollywood. In the 1940s, she was the highest-paid actress in America. Her estimated net worth at the time of her death was $10 million, but the price she paid for it was high. Her first marriage to actor Frank Fay was rife with violence, alcoholism, and disappointment. Allegedly infertile due to teenage abortions, she adopted a son, but raised him so strictly that he later cut off contact with her. Rumors circulated that her second marriage to lead actor Robert Taylor was arranged by MGM to appease public opinion. The couple eventually divorced after years of emotional estrangement, and Stanwyck never remarried. According to co-star Linda Evans, she called Taylor the love of her life and was deeply saddened by his death in 1969. In 1981, Stanwyck was attacked at her home and robbed of $40,000 worth of jewelry. While filming The Thornbirds in 1982, she inhaled smoke from special effects, causing severe bronchitis, a condition exacerbated by her smoking habit, which she had started at age 9. Although she quit smoking 4 years before her death, her lungs were irreversibly damaged. She passed away on January 20, 1990, at the age of 82 due to heart failure and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Her ashes were scattered throughout Lone Pine, the area forever associated with the Western films that made her legendary. Richard Long Chongvai Jared Barkley. Richard McCord Long, born December 17, 1927, was one of the most familiar faces on television in the 1960s. In 1965, at the age of 38, he took on the role of Jared Barkley, the intellectual and respected eldest brother of the Barkley family in Big Valley. Throughout the 112 episodes, Jared embodied reason amidst chaos, a nearly perfect portrayal that contrasted sharply with Long's own struggles in real life. Few knew that behind his handsome face and warm voice lay a deeply wounded soul. Richard Long's life was marked by suffering, addiction, violence, and a fragile heart, both emotionally and physically. In 1954, he married young actress Susan Ball, who had recently undergone amputation surgery due to cancer. Just 14 months later, Susan died in Long's arms at the age of 22. Her death left an irreplaceable void in his heart. He later married model Mara Corday and had 3 children, but that marriage crumbled under the weight of his alcoholism and violent outbursts. In 1961, Long was arrested for assaulting his wife while drunk. Although Mara withdrew the lawsuit and forgave him, the damage had been done. His career was also affected by his addiction. He frequently arrived on set drunk, stammering, forgetting lines, and behaving erratically. Eventually, Warner Brothers terminated his contract. However, he still attempted to revive his career with roles in Nanny and the Professor, as well as other television shows, including directing 2 episodes of The Big Valley, a last-ditch effort to regain his standing. From a young age, Long suffered from pneumonia, which damaged his heart. Years of alcohol abuse and stress only worsened his condition. He suffered his first heart attack in 1961. In December 1974, after a month of persistent cardiovascular problems, Richard Long passed away on December 21, 1974, just 4 days after his 47th birthday. Peter Breck as Nick Barkley. Peter Breck's real name is Joseph. Peter Breck, born on March 13, 1929, in Rochester, New York, became a national phenomenon in 1965 at the age of 36, with his portrayal of Nick Barkley, the hot-tempered ranch manager who settled problems with his fists rather than words, in the film The Big Valley. Like his on-screen character, Peter Breck lived a turbulent, lonely, and somber life. After his parents divorced when he was 8, Breck was estranged from his younger brother for over 20 years. After World War II, he served in the Navy, then played professional basketball before embarking on an acting career and studying method acting with great dedication. This dedication earned him a reputation for being a demanding person. On the set of The Big Valley, he once punched another actor for disrespecting Nick Barkley during a break. Nick's anger wasn't just on screen, it also lingered within Peter, causing many producers to avoid casting him in projects after the show ended. From the height of his television fame, his career gradually declined with B-movies, horror films, and little-known projects in Europe. In real life, Breck's decades-long marriage to dancer Diane Bourne was plagued by rumors of emotional estrangement. They had a son, Christopher, but their joy was short-lived. Christopher died of leukemia at the age of 30, a loss Peter never got over. In his final years, Peter opened a small acting school in Vancouver, Canada, hoping to keep his passion alive. But even that faded. In 2010, his wife confirmed that Peter had been diagnosed with dementia. He died on February 6, 2012, in Vancouver at the age of 82. Paul Sorensen as Dave Sloan. Paul Sorensen, born February 16, 1926, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, was one of the most celebrated supporting actors on American television from the 1950s to the 1980s. In 1965, at the age of 39, he played Dave Sloan, a quiet but tough blacksmith in the Great Valley. Although it was only a supporting role, this performance reflected the image Hollywood had assigned him: rude, hot-tempered, and unapproachable. In real life, Sorensen's life was full of cracks and scandals that few people knew about. After graduating from Pasadena Playhouse and serving 15 months in the Korean War, he returned to Hollywood and gradually built his career by playing authoritative characters: police officers, border patrol agents, or rugged cowboys. He appeared in shows such as Dallas, The Brady Bunch, Gunsmoke, The Virginian, and Perry Mason, but was never offered leading roles, perhaps partly due to his unpleasant personality. Many in the industry spoke of Sorensen's hostility and arrogance. He was known for his lack of respect on set, frequently publicly criticizing directors and calling young actors useless and lacking passion. A scandalous incident occurred during the filming of Bonanza, when Sorensen was rumored to have had an affair with a stunt double, a scandal that temporarily caused his wife, Jacqueline, to leave him and damaged his public image. In 1973, he was investigated for alleged tax evasion. Although the matter was handled amicably and no charges were filed, the controversy slammed many doors on his career. Directors who had worked with him began to avoid him, preferring to choose lesser-known actors rather than deal with Sorensen's enormous ego. However, his life took an unexpected turn in the late 1980s. Sorensen retired from acting and, along with his wife and one of their sons, became an ordained pastor. He ran a church and taught acting in the local community, perhaps finally finding the peace he had sought for decades. After his wife's death in 2002, Sorensen lived a secluded life until his death on July 17, 2008, in California, at the age of 82. 82. Bill Quinn as George Allison, William Tyrell. Bill Quinn was born on May 6, 1912, in New York City. In 1965, at the age of 53, he joined Big Valley as Dr. George Allison, a calm, polite, and wise doctor who healed the Barkley family. But few knew that in real life, Bill carried emotional scars that never truly healed. Anderson's career had been built long before that. In the early 1950s, he signed with the powerful MGM studio and later moved to 20th Century Fox, where he appeared in a series of notable films. Among them were the science fiction classic Forbidden Planet and Stanley Kubrick's anti-war masterpiece Paths of Glory, in which Anderson delivered a performance showcasing his versatility and depth. Although he had already earned respect from those in the industry, it wasn't until the 1970s that his fame truly exploded. From 1974 to 1978, Anderson played Oscar Goldman, a calm government official in the film The $6 Million Man and its spin-off, The Bionic Woman. His portrayal of Goldman, an authoritative, trustworthy, and mysterious character, resonated strongly with millions of viewers and made him a household name. The role became so iconic that it shaped the latter half of his career and opened up numerous opportunities beyond acting. From 1976 to 1982, he became the face of the famous Shell Answer Man advertising campaign. With his calm demeanor and fluent speaking ability, he became one of the most widely known advertising spokespersons of the time. Thanks to his continuous television work and advertising contracts, his net worth at the end of his life was estimated at around $3 million, a considerable sum for a television actor of his era. However, the glamour could not hide the turmoil in his personal life. Anderson was married twice, first to actress Carol Lee Ladd, and then to Catherine Thalberg, daughter of producer Irving Thalberg and actress Norma Shearer. Both marriages ended in divorce. According to family members and close friends, Anderson had numerous infidelity issues, maintaining a series of extramarital affairs, particularly during his marriage to Carol Lee. Behind the scenes, whispers circulated that he had used his position in Hollywood to undermine rivals, sabotage careers, and manipulate the media to protect his own reputation. While never publicly confirmed, such stories added another layer of controversy to his otherwise impeccable public image. On August 31, 2017, Richard Anderson died in Beverly Hills, California, at the age of 91. The cause is believed to be age-related complications. He is remembered by fans of classic television as one of the icons who shaped American television in the latter half of the 20th century. Mark Tapscott as Bates. Mark Lauren Tapscott, born December 15, 1924, in Bell, California, is known to television audiences for his portrayal of Bates, the loyal, quiet assistant in Big Valley, first appearing in 1966 when he was 42 years old. Bates was an integral part of the Barkley Ranch, dedicated, humble, and always on the side of justice. Just like the life Mark had lived. After the death of his first wife, Frances, in 1969, Mark remarried Sybil Line, but the darkness within him began to grow. His gambling addiction, stemming from his time in the military, took a devastating turn when he became involved in underground poker games in Los Angeles. The mounting debt led to both mental and financial ruin, causing Sybil to leave him in 1983. Rumors circulated that he had children out of wedlock, but Tapscott never publicly acknowledged this. The 1970s and the 1980s were a bleak period for his career. Rejected from over 150 acting roles, Mark turned to teaching voice acting to young actors to make a living. Colleagues recall that he often came to class drunk, but remained dedicated and kind to his students. In his final years, Tapscott lived quietly in California, no longer appearing on screen. Mark Tapscott died on September 10, 1993, in Los Angeles County, at the age of 68. Perhaps that is how he wanted to be remembered, not as a star, but as a man. Authentic, vulnerable, and imperfect. Walker Edmiston as Barney. Walker Robert Edmiston, born February 6, 1926, in St. Louis, Missouri, was one of the most beloved voice actors and puppeteers on American television in the mid-20th century. In 1965, at the age of 39, he appeared in the series The Big Valley as Barney, a quiet, dedicated investigator with a profound inner depth. Edmiston was the driving force behind countless children's shows, such as The Walker Edmiston Show, Time for Beanie, and Dumbo's Circus. He was the creator of many iconic puppet characters, such as Kingsley the Lion and Callie the Cat. Despite his immense contributions to popular culture, Edmiston's personal life remains shrouded in mystery. Following the death of his wife, Evelyn, in 1998, he became more withdrawn. Even before that, his family life had been far from peaceful. One of his two daughters had accused him of being overly controlling in raising her, leading to a strained father-daughter relationship. That pain deepened in the late 1970s when Edmiston suffered a severe mental breakdown after losing a major television contract, an ordeal that culminated in an unpublicized suicide attempt. Walker Edmiston died of cancer on February 15, 2007, in Woodland Hills, California, at the age of 81. He was a talented artist, but also a man overshadowed by the very characters he created. The other characters were always cheerful, while he quietly succumbed to despair. Douglas Kennedy as Sheriff Fred Madden. Douglas Richards Kennedy, born September 14, 1915, was a familiar face to American television audiences through hundreds of supporting roles in westerns, crime films, and science fiction movies. In 1965, at the age of 50, he played Sheriff Fred Madden in The Big Valley, starring alongside Barbara Stanwyck as Victoria Barkley. Kennedy exuded a cold, authoritative aura, but behind the television spotlight, his real life was riddled with cracks few could imagine. Reports indicate that Kennedy was a heavy drinker, leading to frequent tardiness, emotional instability, and difficulty remembering lines on set. Many directors cut his role at the last minute, leaving him with only minor roles in shows like Perry Mason, Rescue 8, Colt Point, 45, and Hawaii 5-0, where he made his last screen appearance in 1973. His personal life was also fraught with controversy. Rumors circulated that Kennedy had numerous extramarital affairs while filming away from home. He was even sued for having a child out of wedlock in Arizona, a scandal that severely damaged his reputation. His marriage to Isabel Russell was constantly scrutinized by tabloids due to suspicions of domestic violence. Although they had a son, Douglas Kennedy Jr., Kennedy rarely mentioned his son in public interviews. In his later years, Kennedy moved to Hawaii to film Hawaii 5-0. There, his health deteriorated rapidly. On August 10, 1973, he died of cancer at the age of 57. He is buried at the Pacific National Memorial Cemetery in Honolulu, alongside many other U.S. veterans. Bing Russell as Clint Erden Kelsey. Bing Russell, whose real name was Neil Oliver Russell, was born on May 5, 1926, in Brattleboro, Vermont, and played Clint Erden Kelsey in the 1965 film The Big Valley when he was 39 years old. One of hundreds of supporting roles he took on during his nearly 5-decade-long career. Although Bing pursued an acting career and appeared in popular series such as Bonanza, Gunsmoke, The Twilight Zone, The Virginian, and The Big Valley, things changed in 1973 after numerous layoffs. He completely shifted his focus to his second passion, baseball. Bing founded the Portland Mavericks, an independent, semi-professional baseball team with an unconventional philosophy. Play for entertainment, not for profit. His rebellious spirit made him a legend in American baseball and a nuisance to the professional league. But when Major League Baseball, MLB, reclaimed his territory, they were forced to pay him $206,000 in punitive damages. That money, along with shrewd investments and a relationship with his famous son, Kurt Russell, helped Bing build an estimated net worth of around $1 million. However, his personal life was not as smooth as his baseball career. In 1974, he had an affair with a young actress, causing a rift in his marriage to Louise Lulu Crone, whom he had married in 1946. One of his daughters reportedly cut off contact, finding him distant and controlling. Despite having a son, Kurt Russell, who was a movie star, and a grandson, Wyatt Russell, also an actor, Bing was rumored to be a rather enigmatic father. He died on April 8, 2003, in Thousand Oaks, California, at the age of 76 after a long battle with cancer. His Mavericks team was later featured in the 2014 documentary The Battered Bastards of Baseball, preserving the legacy of a man who lived and played by his own rules.